What? And I'm going to give you one opportunity because we're friends.
Winner! Who gives a shit about where the ball's been?
Yeah, F him. They went from loving this guy, best move ever, to hating him.
I think it's the most ridiculous thing in the world.
I love it because it tells you how the game was played.
There's nowhere for him to go. I think there's one place.
You can't do that in the national team.
Those things that are absolutely insane.
Successful and sexy? No. It wasn't aggravating at times? Yes.
Sorry,
That's not very fair.
It's not about being fair.
Welcome to the greatest soccer show ever.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the weekly recap from We Are Soccer. Another fun-filled weekend of football. The big one, the Champions League final, Wembley, yesterday. Real Madrid, Borussia Dortmund. Did you watch it? We're talking about it. Lots of Champions League soccer to get to and some pitch invaders. I don't know if you've heard why that happened. There was 3 of them. We'll talk a little bit about that. We've got a lot to get to today. We're talking a little bit about Liverpool and next year. So if you're a huge Liverpool fan, jump in. We want your comments. Let us know your thoughts. We're going to talk about how we think they're going to do. We're going to talk about the new coach. We're going to talk about some of the stars there. We're also talking about the Euros, which kick off in less than 2 weeks. June 14th to July 14th. From Germany. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We're talking about Jose Mourinho signing with Fenerbahce. I'm sure everybody knew that was coming. No, that's a bit of a surprise out of the blue. Strange one there. Hansi Flick to Barcelona. Pull the lever, Barcelona. You need more money to register your coach and his incoming staff. Oh, and by the way, Inter Miami is going to be losing definitely 1, maybe 2 stars for up to a month here. Now, before we jump in and talk, I do want to say a big thank you to some of our partners. Big thank you to Soccer World, soccerworld.net for all your soccer gear needs. Big thank you to Next Level Training. The boys of Next Level Training are the best in the country. Trust me. Just signed my kids up for the summer camps. Spots filling fast. Sign your kids up. Next-leveltraining.com. Big thank you to the Michigan Jags. Appreciate you. A lot of the season's coming to an end here for the Michigan Jags. Open training starting this week and then tryouts next weekend. Visit them at MichiganJaguarsFC.com for more information. Big thank you to Thomas McGee's, the best place in Michigan to watch soccer. And thank you to Dr. Zachary Atwood, the football doc. Good friend of the show, good friend of mine, Good dude. Listen, if you're trying to take your body to the best performance level for soccer, if you're coming back for an injury, visit the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood. All right, now, today in the studio with me, good friend of the show, we have Mr. Ben Leitner. Ben, welcome to We Are Soccer, my friends.
Thanks for having me. I have been a huge fan, and I listen all the time, and I probably comment a little bit too much. So now I get to assault you guys in person.
No, man, appreciate it. No, I do want to tell everybody this is not your debut on We Are Soccer, the channel. Last night, you did one of the games that was going live streaming on We Are Soccer. I thought you did really well as a lone commentator, my friend. You really showed that you know the game and have played.
Thank you. It's very nerve-wracking. My wife always says I constantly are talking throughout these games to the point where she's got to leave the room usually. And whenever we go to a sporting event, she's like, "Oh, you never stop saying what's happening." So I thought it'd be really easy. It's not as easy as I expected.
It's definitely not as easy as it looks, right? But you did a really nice job, so well done.
Thank you.
So listen, you've been in the soccer community here in Metro Detroit for decades, my friend. You and I have been friends for 12, 15 more years. I don't even know when we first played against each other.
We started out as enemies.
We did. We were playing against each other. That's how most of my friendships have come to be these days, playing against people and getting to know them. But tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you've been part of LCFC. You've played with the Bullets. You're part of the Jags. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Yeah, I grew up right in the area, and played for Northville High School for a while, and then Schoolcraft College, great school. Actually didn't even know they had a soccer team until my senior year of high school, and was starting to farm around options. And man, they are packed with talent. And then played for Albion, and after college, kind of got bored, and that's how we created Livonia City FC. So I've been involved with that club since 2015. I run an over 30 team. That is the Bullets FC 30. And we play in the Michigan United Soccer League. Man, and I play a lot of indoor. 6v6 is my vice. And I'm down to like one or two teams now. But at one point I was playing for 12 and probably had to play against you 2 or 3 times a week.
Those are good old days, man. The good old days playing against you. But you have been in the soccer community here for a very long time. You've got some deep roots. You've played college soccer. You've played local high school soccer. You've played on many teams. You've started clubs. You continue to help clubs. You've done a lot. So I know a lot of people know you, and that's one of the reasons we wanted to bring you on here at We Are Soccer, because, one, you've been around. Everybody knows you. But what a lot of people may not know is you have a really, really deep knowledge of the sport as well. Not only how to play, but how to talk about it, the pro game, and what we're going to get into today, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm excited to share my insight.
Yeah, let's go with that. But first, let's let everybody know that you are, in fact, a Liverpool fan.
Supporter. Liverpool supporter.
There you go. But not just like surface level. You get down into it and you know about the club. You know about the history of the club. Why are you a Liverpool supporter? What got that going, man?
So I was a striker growing up, and Fernando Torres at Liverpool, not Chelsea Torres.
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool Torres was phenomenal, and honestly, it might have just been the first game that I saw where the striker was someone I identified with. And so from that point forward, I was like, that's my team.
There you go.
I never faltered from that. Now, to be fair, I'd also follow a bunch of other leagues. So, German Bundesliga, I was a big Dortmund fan. And then we picked up Klopp. So it was my dream come true. And I still watch the other teams, but Liverpool's better than all the other ones. So,
well, there you go, man. There you go. I do like that you identified with a player on a club and then you stuck with that club even after the player leaves, because I've seen a lot of people who will follow the player around and then they're supporting that club wherever he's at, and then players retire, man. It's not about players. It's not about managers. It's about the club and the history of the club and being able to identify with that and then identify with other supporters of the club. And you've certainly done that. We are going to talk about Liverpool in a little bit. I want your thoughts there. I want your thoughts on Mo Salah. I want your thoughts on who they could be bringing in. I want your thoughts on that new coach, Arne Slot. But before we get there, we do have to talk about that game yesterday, that Champions League final at Wembley. Real Madrid, the favorites, and to town comes Borussia Dortmund. I loved the big banner they had behind the Borussia Dortmund fans, and it said, "We're coming to town to steal the crown." Beautiful. The Germans with their sense of humor. Interesting there. Listen, Borussia Dortmund, in my opinion, in that first half, were the better team. They took it to Real Madrid. They hit the post, albeit it could have been called offsides because Füllkrug went through, maybe offsides, but hit the post. They had another great opportunity. Zananimi went around the goalkeeper. Courtois just took it too far. Yeah, almost. Listen, if you're Borussia Dortmund, you got to take advantage of one of those opportunities. You got to put the ball in the net. That changes the dynamic of the whole game. But Real Madrid did what Real Madrid usually do. They hung on. They clutched their luck. All of a sudden, the game starts to turn. At halftime, it's 0-0. And then in the second half, Borussia Dortmund come out, and you're like, okay, they're really going to go. I think they could still get one here. And then slowly it started to turn. You could just see Real Madrid put the screws in there. Ben, I don't know your thoughts on this game, man, but I was thoroughly into a lot of the tactical pieces and how the players are moving around and how Borussia Dortmund specifically tried to mark and take away space for Jude Bellingham, one of the best players in the world this past year. He was, albeit for lack of a better term, a little anonymous for most of this game, but I put that down to Borussia Dortmund and their tactics.
Yeah. I mean, I was wearing black and yellow during that game. I will say that I think a lot of people expected that big Dortmund wall to show up at the top of the 18 and them to just lock it down, and that is not the game that they played. They were not shy about attacking a very strong Real Madrid team that's very capable of counterattacking. And that first half, it seemed like Dortmund didn't even care about what Real Madrid was going to send back the other way because they were attacking with numbers. They were sending everyone in the box, crosses coming in. They were cutting it back. They were, even when Real Madrid's defense would win the ball, you'd find time and time again Dortmund's picking it back up 30, 40 yards out and just sending it right back down their throat.
It was definitely not how we envisioned the game going. If we're being honest, we always look at the game. We put a prediction in. We put it on our Facebook group. Not how I envisioned that game going at all. I thought this was going to be a Real Madrid dominating possession. Borussia Dortmund sitting back, putting in a low block. That's not how it was. Incredible.
Real Madrid was very grateful for halftime.
Whew, you're right.
For a team that hadn't scored any goals, they were excited for halftime.
But then Real Madrid did what they do so well. They just soaked that pressure up. They grew into the game. They took advantage. Maybe Borussia Dortmund got a little tired and Real Madrid played upon that. But in the 74th minute, one of the smallest men on the field, Carvajal, pops up in the box and boom. Now, every corner kick that Real Madrid took was near post looking for runners. Carvajal was one of those runners every single time. So that was a tactic. That was something they identified and stuck to. Carvajal almost did that 10 minutes after he scored the first goal. So 1-0 to Real Madrid. That, I thought, really took this wind out of Borussia Dortmund's sails. They made some changes. You saw them go, yep, we may have missed an opportunity here. They did try to put some pressure in, but then all of a sudden, bad passing in the back. Do not put a square ball across your back line without looking properly because that was picked off by Jude Bellingham, knocked to Vinicius Jr., and he scores. I don't know if anybody saw on his goal, and I was having a debate with my dad on this one. When he scores that goal, when he goes to shoot the ball with his left foot, he actually puts it straight into the ground, and it bobbles and as it's flying, it flies off over the goalkeeper's hand and shoulder. I'm struggling to figure out if he actually meant to do that or if it was a mistake. If he meant to do that, Vinicius Jr., give him the Ballon d'Or right now because he's a freaking genius. But if he didn't, it just worked out well, and the harder you work, the luckier you get. So, I don't know. Brilliant goal, bad giveaway. Yeah. Borussia Dortmund, after working so hard, that's just not the way you want it to end, though.
They certainly deserved a goal.
Yeah.
They, at the end of the day, if you don't take the chance and actually put it in the goal, hitting the post doesn't give you any bonus points. So, in my opinion, that post in the first half, the fact that it didn't go in actually probably helped them more than anything, because that would have gotten dragged back for offsides most likely, depending on VAR's competency in the moment. But because it didn't go in, that play was able to continue, and it actually added to their momentum. And you could see it.
Yeah.
I mean, they pushed and pushed and pushed. But yeah, I agree. But by the time Real Madrid pumped that first goal in, it was almost as if Dortmund had used too many of their aces, and I didn't really see an answer coming. I was hopeful. I had all my toes and fingers crossed, but at the end of the day, Real Madrid in the Champions League final is like a Super Saiyan mode, and there's no stopping them sometimes.
Yeah, there's absolutely no. That was their 15th title. They've now been in the Champions League title 19 times, and they've won 15. That's incredible. Someone, great friend of the show, an admin on our Facebook group, We Are Soccer. If you're not on the We Are Soccer Facebook group, guys, get on that right now. It is an awesome group to be part of. Super small, but super engaging. DJ Don Hobley sent me this, and it said, Real Madrid in the final have not been beaten in a European Cup final in 40 years. The last manager to do that, Sir Alex Ferguson. But it wasn't with Man United. It was when he was with Aberdeen. Crazy. So, yeah, Real Madrid into a Champions League final. You know what? No need to even play the game. Just hand it to them. All right. So, listen, I do want to read off a couple of pieces here. Yes, 15 titles, 19 times in a title. Absolutely incredible. There was also 3 pitch invaders in this game. This is actually really scary. We've seen pitch invaders before. We saw the Monica Seles one, 20, 25 years ago now, where the person comes down the stairs, jumps over the court, and stabs her in the back, right? That can absolutely happen in these things. The players, they don't exactly run away. They just stand there and keep to themselves. This is a black eye for Wembley. This is a black eye for UEFA. There were 3 pitch invaders. Now, I wasn't actually aware at the time, and I don't think many of us were, but it came to light afterwards that there is a fella, a YouTube streamer named Andrei Burim. He's Russian. He runs a YouTube stream called Mellstroy, and it's called Mellstroy Stream Invaders, I believe. And he said he was going to pay people 300,000 pounds, so almost $500,000, to be a pitch invader. And there was 3 of them in the first couple of minutes. The first fellow who went on the field and ran around, he did have the Mellstroy pitch invaders written on his shirt. He ran on the pitch, took a selfie with Jude. He ran around, came off the pitch, ran back on the pitch. There was no one in physical shape that could catch this guy. This has got to be stopped. How was this allowed to happen? How? It's disgusting.
I've never been to a Champions League final, but having been to some pretty high-end games, there seems to be a small army of vested guys just round it, like the whole field. Yeah. So my theory is, if someone's slipping $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 into my pocket, I'm gonna pay off this 5 or 6 guards. Hey, here you go, here you go, here you go. I won't hurt anybody. Peace.
That's not quite where I thought we were going to go with this, Ben. We're figuring out ways to get onto the pitch.
To be clear, I don't.
You're not condoning it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just make that clear.
I really don't like pitch invaders. I think it's so ridiculous. You're there to watch a sport, and it ruins the flow of the game.
Yep.
And it puts players in danger. Even if someone doesn't intentionally hurt a player, you could easily slip and take out an ankle of that star player that you're trying to get a picture with. That's a real issue. I mean, they water those fields up until like
Oh, they're saturated, man. They are soaked. Yeah, absolutely. You're right.
And I mean, if I'm not wearing soft grounds, I'm going down.
Yeah.
So.
That dude those guys must have been prepared. But I think that may have been some of the hesitation from the guards running on there as well, because they're like, I'm going to fall over and get laughed at here.
Yeah.
But at some point, UEFA has got to address this. FIFA in general has to address this. Pitch invaders is becoming a thing. When people can pay hundreds of thousands of dollars and pounds to get pitch invaders onto the field to advertise their stream, their live stream, or their betting account, or their whatever it is, there's got to be something out there to stop this, because you know what's going to end up happening is we're going to go back to the 80s where there's 12-foot fences around the pitch, and it ruins it for the spectators, and it ruins the game in general. So man, I don't know if anybody knew that, but I wanted to throw that out there. But it was a YouTube streamer who kind of paid people. I'm surprised that they didn't catch on to this. Now, this isn't the first time he's done this. I don't know if you know this. He's actually paid people to do other things, get pictures and get presidents of countries to say his name. And just an FYI, he has paid some of those people. Some of them he still owes money to. So, I mean, what do you expect from a Russian YouTuber? I don't want to say anything bad, but he might somehow find a way to shut my stream down. Oh, we are soccer down, but
We're
anyway.
advertising for him right now.
Yeah, this is true. So nobody visit him. Back to the soccer talk. I do want to read off this. So yes, listen, Real Madrid won it again. Spain have now won 19 total European Cups and Champions Leagues. Italy is second with 12. After that, we've got, excuse me. Spain 19, England 15, Italy 12, Germany 8, Netherlands 6, Portugal 4, France 1, Scotland 1, Serbia 1, and Romania 1. Now, you might be thinking, wow, Spain, they've got 19 European Cups. Who's won it? Well, there's two teams. We can all. It's a two-horse race in Spain. We all know this, right? We all know it's Barcelona and Real Madrid. Real Madrid have been gangbusters the last couple of years, right? In England, you've got 7 teams. You've got Liverpool, Manchester United, Chelsea, Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa, and Manchester City. Italy has a total of 3 teams that have won it. Milan, AC Milan, Inter Milan, and Juventus. Germany have a total of 3. Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, and Hamburg. So those are the big boys that have won it. You can say what you want, but Spain, for the past couple of years, have really been, I'd probably say the past 2 decades, have been the leaders of Champions League. They just seem to take this home. Is it because they have just 2 teams every year that they're battling to play against, so then they can focus on the Champions League, whereas in the Premiership, and yes, I know Manchester City have won 4 in a row now, but every freaking game in the Premiership is a battle. I mean, even the lower level teams, in the Premiership teams, are battling the big boys, and it is just, it's a slog. Is that what takes a lot of these Premiership teams out of it? I don't know. It's an interesting thought.
Absolutely.
It's the best team. It's the best league in the world, right? So it probably is running them down.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Well, it's a double-edged sword, because on one side of it, you can't really take a week off. Not in England, at least. And that wears you down. And you'll see it in injuries. You see it with the deep squads that some of these elite teams have, where I'm pretty sure Man City could put 2 full teams on the field, and both teams would finish in the top 6 of the Premier League.
Absolutely, yes.
But you need to have that, because you don't know who's going down and when and how many and what position. And, that's one side of it. But on the other side, I mean, if you're playing against a bunch of kind of anemic opponents, and then all of a sudden you got to pop up and play PSG, I'm not so sure that's doing you too many favors. You may be rested, but
It's a good point.
But you're not exactly going up against a bunch of Mbappes week in and week out. So I think that there's a bit of a balance, and that might be why you get. I'm not going to say that there's a farm league. I don't think that the German league's a farm league, or
I want to say that. I want to say it's a farmers league, just to make someone unhappy. But go for it. Continue.
I'm not gonna say it because there's still a lot of strong teams in there. I'm pretty sure in Italy, wasn't it that the team that got relegated actually was doing damage to the team at the top?
Yes,
So,
they were the only team to beat Inter this year. Beat them twice.
Yeah.
Beat them twice. It's crazy.
And-
And they
and-
got relegated.
And Inter didn't lose many games.
No, they didn't.
So it's possible. It's not like they're not playing anybody, but I think it's absolutely what's holding Man City off of this
Yeah.
trophy.
Yeah, that's a good thought. I like the counter argument to that. Now, you did just say the magic words, Kylian Mbappe. And yes, it is official. He'll be signing the documents this week. He is heading to Real Madrid. Wow, what a surprise. Everybody is so surprised, said no one ever, because this has been in the works for a couple of years. The reason he stuck around and signed an extra contract a couple of years ago was due to the World Cup. Due to everything else that was happening. But now it has been official. It's made official. He will be signing for Real Madrid this week. Someone said he has a signing bonus of around 35 million euros, which will make up for the 68 million euros that he lost out on as a loyalty bonus from PSG. So anyway, but he's going to make a ton of money. Do we just hand the Champions League trophy and every other trophy that they are entered, competition they're entered into, to Real Madrid now? Because with Mbappe, they could just be unstoppable.
Yeah, as a not Real Madrid fan, I will say that I'm really hoping that there's like too many knives in the drawer and they kind of chip at each other. Maybe their egos don't mesh. That's always something that you got to deal with when you got someone coming in on $35 million signing fee.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's a good point.
I'm really hoping it jacks them up a little bit instead of, because we're in a situation now where, he's got to be one of the fastest guys.
Oh, absolutely.
And
one of the fastest players on the field every single time he steps on the field.
And Real Madrid already has all these fast guys. So,
well, but that also leads to the question. You're 100% right. And I don't mean to cut you off, but it leads to the question of Kylian Mbappe's best position is wide left, right? Well, one of the players who's playing there right now, who's up for the Ballon d'Or, is Vinicius Jr., the Brazilian. That's his best position. What is going to happen? Because two players who are two of the best in the world cannot play in one position. So someone's got to go play on the other side. Rodrigo is on the right.
Two left wings.
You just have two left wingers? Yeah, that'll work. Stack it up, yeah. Neither one of them can defend. But Rodrigo on the right, he may find himself relegated to the bench if he's still there. There's rumors that, obviously, he could be leaving. We'll get into that a little later. You got to put one of them. So maybe it's Mbappe you put on the right, cut in. I don't know. Maybe it's Junior. Maybe it's Vinicius Jr. I don't know. Maybe they plan on playing. In my opinion, I thought, and this is gonna sound very strange, Ben, but the one piece they were missing this year was that true 9. Once Benzema left, I was like, they didn't really figure out how to play without him. But then they ran through like a buzzsaw the La Liga. They won that by so many points. They've won the Champions League. So did they really miss that true 9? Probably not. But maybe one of those guys can play up top. Who knows? It's a thought, right?
Yeah, I'm not seeing him as a hold-up player by any means.
Agreed.
You almost got to take whoever's going to have the biggest hissy fit and just give them their position and then scooch the other one over.
I love that. Who do we think has the biggest hissy fit? Vinicius Jr. or Kylian Mbappe?
I think it might be the contract holdout guy.
The contract holdout guy? Yeah. You need to renew me in the next 2 years or a year, so I'm going to throw up. Yeah, you might be right.
It might be a bargaining chip that's been slid his way as part of his contract that maybe hasn't been published.
That's interesting. Well, listen, the Don Carlo Ancelotti now has that to deal with. I'm sure they're going to rejigger their lineup for next year. I want to see them go back to a 4-4-2. Let's go back to a 4-4-2, see if we can make that work. That way you really could have two wingers out there, a left-sided forward and a left mid, and you could make that work, I think. See, Ben, welcome to the show. Any chance Craig gets to slide a 4-4-2 in there? I do. I don't know if it'll work. A lot of teams are going back to it. Just saying.
But
never know.
Are the good teams going to it?
Yeah, well, let's move on to the next question. Good segue there. All right, listen, we're going to talk a little bit of Liverpool. Ben is a huge Liverpool supporter, as we talked about. We are going to come back and we're going to talk about Liverpool. We're going to talk about their upcoming season. We're going to talk about their new coach. We're going to talk about, should they sell Mo Salah? I want everybody's thoughts on that. We'll be right back.
I'm Craig Hearn. Today, I'm here with the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood. He's going to show me some simple exercises and stretches to do before my soccer games. Because to be honest, I'm getting a little older and I need to be better prepared for these games. All right, he's got some stuff he's going to show us. Let's jump in.
What's up, guys? Dr. Zach here with Craig. We're going through a dynamic warm-up here. Super important, especially in this age group as we get older. A lot of guys that I see, they go right from their car and straight to the field without any warm-up. We want to make sure that we're getting the body warm, we're getting loose, we get the heart rate up so that we can help reduce injuries. All right, guys, so I've got Craig currently doing some grass sweeps. He's doing a Frankenstein stretch, and he's also going through some pogos right now. Whoa, Craig, what the hell?
Yep, sorry, Doc.
All this newfangled dynamic warm-up, this and that. What's wrong with my old warm-up? Oh, yeah, the doc was right. Definitely need the new warm-up. Oh, good Lord.
All right, as you saw there, the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood, good friend of the show. If you've been injured lately, or if you're in need of some physical therapy, or just need to figure out how to stretch before games better, like myself, hit the football doc up. All right, as we talked about earlier, Liverpool is the club that is closest to Ben's heart. We're going to talk about them. I have made it known in the past couple of weeks that I think Liverpool, the best move this summer for them, as they bring a new manager in and they need to get a little bit of money for him to spend, is to sell Mo Salah. Yes, sell the diamond in that crown, because you know what? He may have been the leading goal scorer for Liverpool. He may have been up there for the Golden Boot this year, but the amount of times I saw that man float a ball into the goalie's hands this year was absolutely incredible. I think he's lost a step. I think he's going to lose a step next year. I think if Saudi Arabia comes calling for, I don't know, 150 million, 200 million like they did last year, even if it's only for 100 million, I think you sell him. I think you cash in and you say, hey, new manager, Arne Slot, here you go. Here's a little bit of a war chest for you. Have at it. That's just my thoughts. I will also put my prediction in where I think Liverpool will finish the 2024-25 season shortly. But Ben, what do you think about selling Mo Salah? Should they cash in? And are you excited about the new coach?
I hate it. I hate it. So being Jurgen Klopp is the best thing that's happened to Liverpool in a long time.
Okay.
And his personality alone, he's a hard guy to hate.
Yep.
And I am truly sad to see him go. No good can come of it. So that's not to say that the new guy is not going to do a great job. He certainly has some weapons to use. And
Yes.
Liverpool's a pretty complete team. They have a few positions that maybe could use some spicing up.
I was about to say, where do they need some reinforcement? What do you see if you say, okay, here's 50 to 100, a little bit more million, Mr. Arne Slot, welcome to Liverpool. Where do you think he should spend that money? Is it another center back because Virgil van Dijk could be on his last leg? Is it a right back and move Trent in? Is it another forward? Is it the midfield? I think they did a great job of retooling that last summer, but what are your thoughts?
Well, they're doing a great job of pulling from their young talent and really getting a lot out of them. I think Quanta has shown that he certainly belongs on the pitch. And, you got Harvey Elliott and a few others, Bradley, some players who have really been dropped into these massive games with not a whole lot of time to ramp in. And they've done a pretty impressive job. With that being said, right back is where I think Liverpool needs to bolster their Trent Alexander-Arnold is not a true right back.
Not the first person in this studio to say that. So you'd move him into the midfield,
Certainly, yeah.
and then you would go and pick up a right back.
Yes.
Anybody in the market that you are eyeing that you'd like to see in be a red?
Not in the market, but I mean, if I could take anybody,
Everybody's got a price, my friends.
I would really be happy to see a light blue jersey turn red in Walker.
Okay, hold on. So he was last year determined that he was eyeing and looking at Bayern Munich. He was then given the captaincy by Man City. But you do realize he's like 33, maybe turning 34. I think he's 33-ish, 34.
Listen,
So he's older. You're going to end up spending a lot of money for a guy who's only got another couple of years left, maybe another year or two.
but that's a gamble worth making, I think. As a 33 or 34 or whatever year old, that dude is fast and he is good.
Is it not bizarre how fast he is? He's probably the only player who can keep up with Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Jr., and that's the reason right there I think that Man City don't sell him. That's why they go, hey, we need you to stick around. We'll leave you with the captaincy. We're going to leave you here. We're going to keep paying you more because you're the only guy who can step in and keep up.
Oh, yeah. And I don't think I don't know if he would leave. Clearly he likes red if he's talking to Bayern. But I will say this much. I don't think that will ever happen.
Yep.
But if I'm on my FIFA fantasy team, maybe that's someone I slide into the position. And if it doesn't work, then I'll, let Liverpool know, and they don't have to go for him.
I like it. All right. Give me your this past year from 2023, 2024 Liverpool Player of the Year. Who's the one player that stood out for you that you thought that guy is the guy who made this season, and without him, we don't do what we did? Who's the one guy for you?
For me,
Yep.
it's our number 7, Diaz. I think that
Really?
dude
Okay.
is he's as close to Mane as we were going to get. And that's that guy where you could play a horrible game for 94 minutes, and in the 95th minute, he's bottled lightning waiting to be spilled in the box. That guy is fast. He's creative. There's a delicious clip of Liverpool playing against Man City where he just undresses the entire right side of the Man City line, probably 2 or 3 players, including the guy that I was just talking about that I liked, and he roasted him. He's so creative. I think that for me, he's been a pivotal player. Jeez.
I was expecting you to go with Virgil van Dijk. I think most Liverpool fans are saying Virgil van Dijk, but I thought he had a good year, not a great year. He maybe lost half a step, and it showed a little bit here and there. When he didn't have Alisson behind him, there was a little bit of lack of communication. I really enjoyed watching the Liverpool midfield play this year. I thought the Szoboszlai pickup, the Wataru Enderu pickup was phenomenal. I thought that the McAllister pickup was phenomenal. Mm-hmm. Are you all in on this midfield with what they've got, or do you see some weakness at all?
I'm a big fan of the midfield.
Yeah.
And even some of the guys that I've mentioned too, Liverpool's one of those teams where they've got players who can plug into any position. I'm happy with the midfield.
Okay.
And honestly, the attack force I'm pretty happy with too. Unpopular opinion, but I think Nunez is going to be and will continue to be incredibly dangerous. I know he blows a lot of chances, but here's the thing. He blows a lot of chances because he has a lot of chances.
Yeah.
And getting into those positions, he's fast, he's quick, he's big, he's strong. We're talking about inches. And his whole season could change.
The one thing you just said there, he misses a lot of opportunities, but he gets those opportunities. He gets in the right space at the right time. Now, if he could just get a little bit more composure, just a little bit more, I don't know what, just composure has to be the word, in front of goal, I think he starts to put a few more of those opportunities away. Maybe Arne Slot coming in is that person to help him do that. A lot of people consider it £100 million wasted. I personally do not, because I'm of the same thinking that you are, Ben. he gets into those opportunities. Other players will not get into those opportunities or have those opportunities. He's doing something right. Trust me, he is worth his weight in gold. I think he comes good next year, and I think it starts to pay off for Liverpool, depending on how Arne Slot uses him. All right, last question for you, my friend, on Liverpool. Where do they finish the 2024-25 season? In what position? Because I think a couple of weeks ago I made my prediction, and I'll say it again here, but I would like to hear yours. Where do we finish the season?
You know, I'm gonna give it. Man, I gotta pad my number a little bit because of this huge question mark with this guy coming in. You've seen teams blow up when they get a new manager, but I'm gonna say 4th.
Okay.
I think that they are Champions League worthy, and I think that year in and year out, anytime they might. Yeah, I'm gonna say 4th.
You're gonna say, but in the Champions League spots, they're gonna finish 4th. Okay.
Yes.
I personally think new manager coming in, they got a lot of good players. I think they're gonna need to retool a little bit here and there. If they don't play with the same formation, I think honestly they finished outside of those Champions League spots. I think they finished 5th or 6th because what's going to happen is we've got a Tottenham, we've got an Aston Villa, we've got a Chelsea. All 3 of those teams are now trying to get into that top 4, right? And obviously you've got a Man City, you've got an Arsenal that are there. Now you're going to fit 3 other teams in. Where is Liverpool going to finish? And those other teams all have some consistency with the manager and a formation that they now be playing for a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th year. Mm-hmm. I think, unfortunately for Liverpool, they finished outside of those top 4. I think they finished at 5th or 6th. But that's what makes this beautiful game so beautiful.
So who wins it?
We just don't know. Who wins it?
Who's winning next year? Is it City again?
Yeah, I think City win it again.
No. Does Arsenal peter in at half a point behind again? Because that would be hilarious.
I think, and I mean, I got to give credit where credit's due. Arsenal this year were phenomenal. They played an absolutely phenomenal season. They dropped points where they probably shouldn't have dropped points to Fulham. They lost to Fulham. They drew with Fulham. So they lost points there. They lost to Villa twice, at home and away. Those 2 clubs were the ones that decided that Arsenal were not going to win this year. Man City won or didn't lose. I think they won 19 in a row. I think it was. I have to double check that figure. I mean, they're just a buzzsaw. We knew it was going to happen. Arsenal actually did the very same thing, except for 1 to 2 games. That's it. Just 1 or 2 games. That's all. They dropped 5 points to Fulham. They dropped 6 points to Villa. If you just change one of those outcomes, we have a brand new title holder. I don't know if Arsenal can get back on their feet and win it next year, but you certainly know that Man City are going to be there. I think Pep could use he's really good at man management. He's really good at getting the best out of his players, inspiring them, and I think he might put the this might be my last year, and that will go on to inspire those players.
It didn't inspire Liverpool.
This is true. This is absolutely true.
But I will say I need to know what champagne that Man City's drinking on New Year's, because every single year it seems like after New Year's hits, that second half of the season.
Oh my God, you're right.
Have they lost since the pandemic started?
No, every year, the second half of the year, they don't. They're right. All right, we got a lot to get to. We're going to be right back. We're going to be talking Euros. Then we're going to talk where Jose Mourinho went and some other things. Right back.
Hi, Brooks. We're at our favorite store, Soccer World in Rochester. We're just going to do some light shopping. Nothing big. Ooh, pretty colors. Oh, and one of these too?
Ooh, Germany. Nate would like this.
Hey, Brooks, look at all these. Look what I got.
South America. Ooh. Wow, that's not MLS. Cool.
Socks? No.
Ooh, a ball pump.
Next to line.
Sir, you're next.
Right. That's a mannequin. You know that.
Huh?
It's a mannequin.
Oh. Sorry, sir.
Craig, what are you doing?
Welcome back, guys. All right. Following on from Arnie Slot joining Liverpool, there's a bunch of other managers who've joined new clubs as well, as we know. Maresca goes to Chelsea. That deal will be signed tomorrow. Hansi Flick to Barcelona. Barcelona, the rumor is they don't have enough money to pay him or the incoming coaching staff. So, as they say, the term is pull the lever, find more money. Here it comes. They've sold the rights to their online TV piece or whatever the heck it is. They're waiting for $85 million to hit their bank account, and once that hits the bank account for Barcelona, they can then register their new manager, Hansi Flick. It is the most bizarre situation in the world to me, and we still have players out there who want to go play for Barcelona. Listen, players in the world right now, I know Barcelona are the biggest clubs in the world. I know this. They can barely register players. They can't register their coach right now and his incoming staff because they don't have enough money. They are 1.2 billion euros in debt. Billion. So, listen, just chill the F out if you're trying to go play for Barcelona, because I don't know if it's going to happen. They can't register people and players. Hansi Flick wanted that job. He has that job. I think he's going to find that he'll be out of a job next year, but he'll have a handsome payout. Another manager who moved, Jose Mourinho. Now, everywhere the Jose Mourinho has been, he's won trophies, except for at Tottenham. But, I always put this asterisk next to that one. A week before he was due to win a trophy, he was fired, bizarrely. But he wins everywhere he goes. He's a winner. He sticks around for 2 to 2.5, 3 years at the most, and then he's out. He has now landed in Fenerbahce. Officially, he landed at the airport today to sign his deal tomorrow morning. The crowds went wild. Fenerbahce, you're welcome. You have a new coach for the next 2 to 2.5 years, and then he'll quit or you'll fire him because you'll get sick of his you-know-what. All right, the Euros are coming up. I'm actually really excited about the Euros. Obviously, I don't know. I got it around here somewhere. I got an England top. Where was it? It's around here. I got an England top. Huge England fan. Obviously, everybody knows. Ben, is it coming home?
No.
God dang it. I brought you on this show to say yes and agree with me. What do you mean no? Okay, if England's not winning it, who's winning the Euros that's in Germany this year, man?
Germany?
Germany?
Do they get to play with Cruz, or is he gone?
Oh, no, he's playing. Yeah, Cruz is all in. He's playing, but...
That dude's going to carry...
You think he's going to carry the team? He's going to carry the nation because it is in Germany.
He's a monster.
And this is his last competitive competition. Then he's officially retiring. His last club game is yesterday. He goes off with a winner there. You think he sails off into the sunset. His international career has come back from international retirement to do this. You think he's going to sail off into the sunset, huh?
Yeah.
Germany.
German fans, the environment, those guys know how to set the tone. I mean, look at like the way that Dortmund marches into every single game. Look at the way that, Bayern Munich, they show up with 40,000 people when they only 18,000 have tickets to the game.
Yeah.
Like Germany they show up.
They do.
And I think they were hosting the World Cup in 2006 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it took some serious firepower to derail them. I just think that the home field advantage is going to give them a little boost.
That's a good shout, to be honest. Listen, it's England, Germany, France, Spain are up there. Belgium, I think, are coming towards the end of their golden era, as we talked about, right? But they still got some ballers in there. Questions over Kevin De Bruyne. Is he healthy? Because he's left a couple of games injured this year. This could be their last chance at it with the golden generation, as they call it. That they have. So I don't see Belgium winning it. I do think this is an England or, I hate to say it, but Ben, you do have a new best friend now that you've said Germany. And I do believe it's a Germany, England, or a France who wins this.
On paper, England is always like one of the top teams. They just find a way to, it's like Arsenal trying to win the Premier League.
Oh, God. We're the Arsenal of the international.
Now, when it happens, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be the celebrations. We're never going to hear the end of it, and deservedly so. it's been a long time coming, but I just don't know if that time is like, this summer.
I will tell you right now, if it is not now, I don't know when it is ever going to be, because England has the number one talisman in the world in Harry Kane. The guy is just a goal scorer. We've got one of the best midfielders in the world, Jude Bellingham. We've got Cole Palmer. We've got Phil Foden, Jack Grealish. You name it, we've got that midfield and that forward presence that can just score goals in abundance. And if it's not now, I just think it may never happen. But
I think their manager is.
It's the manager that's holding them back.
It's not the players.
No.
It's not the player. They got outside backs out the ears.
Yeah.
I mean.
Oh, England, due to let us
Good
down
luck.
again, but you know what? It could be coming home. It could be coming home. See how my confidence wanes when
Coming home to
people-
Germany.
Oh God, no, not to Germany. You know, I would never hear the end of it from Nate. Would never hear the end of it from that guy. Oh my words. All right, so your official pick is Germany. Okay, I'm gonna play a little game that I like to play with the boys here. I'm gonna give you $1,000. You can take that $1,000 and run, or you can put it on Germany to win, and you can. If Germany does win, that $1,000 turns into $10,000. You taking that $1,000 to the bank, or are you taking and betting it on Germany and taking $10,000 home? What are you
just
doing?
wire it to my account, actually.
Yeah, I can do that, but you have to do one of two things. You have to
I'm
keep it.
not betting.
You're not betting on Germany. All right, your confidence isn't that high, huh?
Oh, my confidence is really high, but I mean.
You just want the $1,000.
Get some new socks.
All right, get some new socks?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Did you not see the soccer world, the video? No one likes socks. No one likes socks.
Oh, now they got those cut socks. I can't do that.
Are you gonna do if you buy new socks from Soccer World? Are you putting slits in the back like the
No.
players?
No.
No.
I've got some big calves, and I don't do that. You got to splurge. Get the $18 socks.
Ooh, that's expensive for a pair of socks.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of socks. Listen,
That's probably why you missed the goal so many times.
That's probably true, actually. Too cramped up from bad socks. The funny thing is, we put an argument in the Facebook group a couple of weeks back about that, the new fad of the players putting little slits and holes in the back of their socks, and it looks cheap. And someone chimed in. I cannot, for the life of me, I can't remember who it was, but a player in England who's played in fifth or sixth tier said, "Listen, I have played a couple of times at this level, and the socks that they give you are cheap and they're tight." So he's like, at the lower levels is where this started. We started putting little razor blade slits or little holes in the back because it actually does release some of the pressure on your calves. And I went, oh, okay, that makes a little bit of sense. I thought it was just shoddy or like a new fashion thing by these players. And he was like, no, there's a legit reason behind it. I don't know. Whatever.
The cheap socks.
Yeah, you learn something new. If you're looking for good quality socks, head to Soccer World, as you just saw in the Soccer World commercial that we played. If you are looking for some great training, you need to head to Next Level Training. I do want to throw this out there. Listen, our thoughts and our prayers are with Aaron and his family. Aaron's mother passed away last week. So, our thoughts are with you, Aaron, your family, as you guys move forward. The service was held yesterday, and the soccer community here in Detroit really comes together. It was a beautiful thing to see everybody showing up for Aaron and his family. Some people I hadn't seen in years, they showed up. They probably hadn't seen Aaron in years, but they wanted to show up for Aaron and his family because that's what the soccer community here in Detroit does. We show up for each other. It's a really large community, but it's a great community to be a part of. So, Aaron, and the Next Level family and everybody, our thoughts and prayers are with you. We'll be back as we wrap this up, but I just want to show this Next Level video here quick.
Tempo, yes, drop out, good. Yes. Touch, play. Right foot. Yes. Scan, good. Touch in, play. Drop your hip. Right. Yes. Good scan. Yes. Jay, well done. Get side on touch. Play. See it. Yes.
Big thank you to Next Level Training, Aaron Bird, Scotty, Dylan, Bilal, and the boys. They have been partners of ours here at We Are Soccer for years. If you're looking to take your kid to train anywhere, it's got to be Next Level Training. Hit up their summer camps this summer. All right. Lots to get to. Local team here, Detroit City FC. We're going to talk about them as they're on a little bit of a slide after a hot start to the season. We're going to talk a little bit about Messi, Suarez, and incoming defender for San Diego FC, Sergio Ramos. That's a little bit of a rumor we'll jump on. All right, Ben. Detroit City FC, a team here, plays close to us. I know we've all seen them a lot of times. New coach in the door this year, Danny Dichiau. Listen, I thought it was a great pickup. They started out, I think they were 5 games undefeated, scoring some goals, playing some attractive soccer, getting the team going, some exciting stuff. And now they've hit a little bit of a purple patch here where it's, losing the other night. Is it 3 in a row, I believe their slide is at?
Yeah, 3-game slide. I know the Indy 11 one was heartbreaking because that's the Open Cup game that you're like, dude.
After beating Houston, after going to Houston, and everybody in the country watching us beat Houston on penalty kicks, came down to the goalkeepers, and then we go to Indy 11, and that's a team in our division, and we go, or at our level, well, we should be able to do this, and then Indy 11 take it to Detroit. So you're right. Yeah. That one hurt. That one stung a bit.
You know, I'm wondering if maybe it's just they're lonely away from home.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're just like, dude, get me back into Hamtramck. Like,
get me back to Keyworth.
Seriously.
Maybe.
I mean, there's something to be said for atmosphere. I know I've said it a few times tonight, but that makes a big difference. As a player, you're out there. I mean, that's the difference between you being tired or not being tired.
I mean, you're right. It's a little bit extra boost. Yeah. That last game, though, they went up 1-0 against Louisville, and the final was 5-1, was it not?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's come on, man.
And yesterday with Orange County went up 1-0.
Yeah.
And dropped that one 3-2.
3-2, yeah.
Now, I'll say this much. I actually had to look it up. I thought that we've never beaten Louisville. Turns out we did beat them last July 19th, 2023, 2-0 win in the USL Championship. But besides that, Louisville have been our just party poopers.
It's almost like in England they call it a bogey team. It's a team that you should beat, but you just can't beat. And it's bizarre. Detroit City, hopefully they can pick it back up. Lots more games coming. Lots more USL Championship games for Detroit City, but they got to get back on track here. All right, we're going to talk about MLS to finish this up here. Listen, Inter Miami is leading the way right now. There was a conspiracy theory put out there that they're going to be always played an extra game compared to everybody else so they can look like they're leading the league. I don't know if I choose to buy into that. They tied with St. Louis yesterday 3-3. They went down in the game twice. They had to come back. Messi got a goal. Suarez got a goal. Jordi Alba scored an own goal. But here's the difficult part for Miami, Inter Miami. They are now going to be losing Lionel Messi for the next month as he joins up with Argentina to play in the Copa America. Oh, and by the way, Luis Suarez could be called up for Uruguay as well. So he might be out. 2 key pieces for Inter Miami gone. Those are the guys that have been scoring almost all the goals. Messi's got 12 goals in 12 games, 9 assists, 21 goal involvements in his 12 games that he's played. That is impossible to replace, friends. We all know he's the GOAT, but you're not even going to come close to replacing that. Luis Suarez has been scoring goals. I did look back at the predictions. I predicted Luis Suarez to be the MVP of the MLS this year.
That was a good call.
Yeah, we'll see if it pans out. I picked Hani Mokhtar to be the Golden Boot winner. Not quite working out as well as I'd hoped, but we'll get there. Ben, have you watched a lot of MLS this year at all?
No.
And it's all right if you haven't. No?
No, so
You got to buy the MLS. You got to buy Apple subscription. And then the MLS Pass, which is an additional $15. By the time you're done, it's $25 a month. That's a lot of money.
yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm already shucking it out for Paramount Plus and Peacock and
Oh, and Disney for the children,
ESPN
Netflix for the
Plus,
wife, and then
yes,
ESPN
yeah.
Plus. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, I get it. But here's something. Would this entice you to buy the MLS Pass next year? Because San Diego FC are going to be the new MLS team next year, the 30th franchise into MLS, and they are bringing in. They've reportedly offered $12 million a year to Sergio Ramos. Sergio Ramos currently has a proposal on the table from Sevilla for $4 million a year. I got to believe he's going to turn that down. He's going to come be the face of San Diego FC and earn $12 million a year. I don't understand paying so much for a defender, but that's just me. I'm a forward, and I like to see explosive, exciting soccer, but maybe some people want to see defenders. Ben, is Sergio Ramos coming to the MLS going to entice you to buy an Apple subscription, an MLS Pass?
I do like San Diego Loyal's patch.
Yeah, it's a cool crest. I agree.
I also hate Sergio Ramos after what he did to Mo Salah. Unforgiven. But I will say this much: it won't buy the subscription, but that will pay for itself tenfold in jersey sales. I think we've seen. Look at the ticket prices for Miami. Messi shows up, and now they're rolling in it.
You
might
nailed
be a
it,
marketing move more so than bringing on a defender for $12 million. I don't think they're worried about the $12 million. Salary cap's going to be a little interesting to navigate.
Yeah.
But I think they're cashing in so that they've got that war chest to move forward.
Dang it, Ben. I didn't even think about that, and now I'm thinking about it. I love the crest. The jersey's going to be awesome.
Yep.
That'd be cool to have a San Diego FC jersey with Ramos on the back, so you may be right there.
Real Madrid guy.
Yeah, you're right. They got to bring in now the Real Madrid guys to face off against the Barca guys. Oh, man, it's all coming together. Oh, well. All right, listen, I want to thank everybody for watching. Do us a huge favor. Give us a like, give us a subscription, give us a share on whatever platform you're on. We would very much appreciate it. Big thank you to Soccer World. Big thank you to Next Level Training. Big thank you to the Michigan Jaguars. Big thank you to Thomas McGee's. Big thank you to the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood. And a huge thank you to Ben Leitner for joining us tonight. Ben, very much appreciate you coming on We Are Soccer, and we'll be sure to have you back in the future, my friends.
Awesome. Yeah, I love it. This Manchester United jersey over here is freaking me out a little bit, but I'll bring my own next time, and we won't have to look at it.
Exactly. All right, guys, thanks. Appreciate you. We'll see you next week.